For honor.
Betrayer of the light. Feel my wrath.
Is there danger? A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. I'm here to help. For honor. I stand for the light. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Of course. Light is my strength. Foul knave. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. Is there danger? A sound plan. I stand for the light. The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. Is there danger? For honor. Certainly.
Our hero has fallen.
Justice shall be done. Of course. Light is my strength. Of course. I stand for the light. For honor. This shall be done. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. I'm here to help. For honor. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Is there danger? I stand for the light. For honor. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Justice shall be done.
Betrayer of the light.
A sound plan. Certainly. For honor.
Justice come.
Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. Certainly.
Our hero has fallen.
The light is my strength. Is there danger? For honor. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. For honor. The light is my strength. Is there danger? I stand for the light. I'm here to help. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. The light is my strength. A sound plan. I stand for the light. Of course. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Foul. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. I'm here to help.
Feel my wrath.
For
Our
honor.
hero has fallen.
A sound plan. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. I stand for the light.
Betrayer of the light. Hero has
Justice shall be done.
feel my wrath.
Ashvalano.
The light is my strength. Justice shall be done. For honor. I'm here to help. Of course. For my father that justice shall be done. The light. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. Justice. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. About me. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. For Lord Orion. For honor. Certainly. Of course. I stand for the light. You are past death. Is there danger? A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. The light and the strength. Justice shall be done. Of course. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. I stand for the light. The light is my strength. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. A sound. I'm here to help. Certainly.
Betrayal of the light.
Certainly. Justice. A sound plan. Certainly. Is there danger? Of course. Justice
Forces are
shall.
under attack.
Certainly.
Our allied
For
town
honor.
is under siege.
For my father and king. Light is my strength. Of course. I stand for the light. Certainly. Of course. Justice shall be done. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. The light. Of course. Certainly. For honor. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. For honor. I'm here to help. Of course. Stand for the light. The light. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Justice shall be done. Of course. For honor.
Allies' hero has fallen.
The light is my strength. Certainly. A sound plan. Feel my Certainly. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor. I'm here to help. Feel my I stand for the light. Of course. Is there danger? Certainly. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. Is there danger? Certainly. I'm here to help. For honor. Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. The light is my strength. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Honor. Sound plan. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. Certainly. For honor. I stand for the light. Of course. For honor. Justice. For my father. Of course.
Our allied town is under siege.
Of course. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. The light is my strength. A sound plan. Certainly.
Betrayer of the light.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Justice shall be done. Feel my wrath.
Our allied town is under siege.
Of course. I stand for the light. Certainly. A sound plan. I'm here to help. I stand for my father the king. For honor, justice shall be done. I stand for the light. Of course, foul name. For honor.
Our allied town is under siege.
I stand. Justice. A sound plan. Certainly. Light is my strength. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Justice. Certainly. Justice shall be done. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. I'm here to help.
Our allied hero has fallen.
For honor. Is there danger? I stand for the light. It is easy to Of course. A sound plan. The light is my strength. Certainly. I'm here to help. For honor. A sound
Our
plan.
allied town is under
Light
siege.
is my strength. Of course. Certainly. I stand. The light is my strength. A sound plan. Of course.
Our allied town is under siege.
Certainly. Of course. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Of course. The light is my strength. Is there danger? For
Our allied town is under siege.
Of course. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. For my father. The light is my strength. Certainly. I'm here to help. Of course. A sound plan.
Our allied town is under siege.
I stand for the light. The light is my strength. Of course. For honor. I'm here to help. I stand for the light. The justice shall serve. I'm here to help. Certainly. Justice Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan.
Our allied
Of course.
town is under siege.
Certainly.
Feel my wrath.
The light is my strength. A sound plan. Is there danger? The light is my strength. Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. I stand
Our
for the
allied
light.
town is under siege.
Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. I stand for the light. Is there danger? A sound plan. I stand for the light. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. For
Our
honor.
allies' town is
Certainly.
under siege.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Certainly. Justice shall be done. The light. A sound plan. I'm here to help.
Our allies' town is
I
under
stand for the light. Is there danger? Certainly. I stand for the light. A sound plan. The light is my strength. I stand for the light.
Our allies' town
For
is
honor.
under siege.
Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Is there danger? I'm here to help. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound. For honor. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. For honor. The light. I'm here to help. Certainly. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. Of course. For honor. Of course. For Lord. For honor.
Allies' hero has fallen.
Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Is there danger? For honor. Of course. The light is my strength.
Feel my wrath.
I stand for the light. The light is my strength. Is there danger? The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. I stand for the light. For honor. The light is my strength. Justice. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. The light is my strength. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. The light is my strength. A sound plan. Is there danger? For honor. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. Of course. A sound plan. For my father, the king. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. Is there danger? It isn't easy being a prince. Of course. A sound plan. course, the light is my strength. Certainly, for honor, I stand for the light. Of course, certainly. Of course, is there danger? A sound plan. Certainly, a sound plan. Justice shall be done. For honor, is there danger? The light is my strength. Is there danger? I stand for the light. I'm here to help. Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. Stand for the light. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound.
好，那你看几点再跟我说，看我忙完了没？
Feel my wrath.
Certainly. For my father the king. For honor. I stand for the light. Certainly. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. For honor. A sound plan. Is there danger? For honor. Justice shall be done. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. I'm here to help. Certainly. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Of course.
You are past redemption.
A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Is there danger? A sound plan. I stand for the light. Is there danger? I'm here to help. For honor.
Betrayer of the light. You are past redemption.
I stand for the light. Certainly. Is there danger? A sound plan. Justice shall be done. For honor. I stand for the light. I'm here to help. Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. Certainly.
My light for
Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Found. The light is my strength. For Lord honor. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Is there danger?
Our hero has fallen.
I'm here to help. For honor. Certainly. Sound plan. Honor. Sound plan. Is there danger? I'm here to help. Of course. Certainly. Life is my strength. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. I'm here to help. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Justice shall be done. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. A sound. The light. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. I stand. I'm here to help. For honor. Justice. The light and strength. Is there danger? Certainly.
You are past redemption.
Of course. Certainly. Of course. The light is my strength.
Feel my wrath.
I stand for the light. The light is my strength.
Betrayer of the light.
I stand for the light.
Justice is come.
I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan.
The restless dead await.
For honor. Of course. Certainly. I stand for the light. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. Is there danger? For honor. A sound plan. I stand for the light. For honor. Certainly. I'm here to help. The light is my strength. Is there danger? I stand for the light. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly.
Feel my wrath. Betrayer of the light.
Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. The light is my strength. For honor. A sound plan. I'm here to help. For my father, the king. Certainly. I stand. Of course. A sound. For honor. Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. Is there danger? I stand for the light. I'm here to help. For honor. Certainly. Of course. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. Certainly.
You are past.
The light is my strength. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. I stand for the light.
To your will. Foul knave.
Is there danger?
You are past redemption.
I'm here to help. A sound plan. I stand for the light. Is there danger?
Betrayer of the light.
Certainly. The light is my strength. For honor. A sound plan. Is there danger? The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Is there danger? A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. Of course.
我现在在外面呢，看晚点，你几点到？
Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. Of course. I'm here to help. For honor. I stand for the light. Of course. A sound plan. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. I'm here to help.
Betrayer of the light.
Justice shall be done. For my father, the king. A sound plan. Certainly. I stand for the light. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Justice shall be done.
Forces are under
I
attack.
stand for the light. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. Of course. Justice shall be done. Certainly. Is there danger? Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Foul name. Certainly. Is there danger? I'm here to help. A sound plan. I stand for the light. The light is my strength. Is there danger? Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. The light is my strength. For honor. Is there danger? I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. Certainly. I'm here to help. For honor. A sound plan. I stand for the light. Certainly. I'm here to help. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. I stand for the light. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Is there danger? For honor. Of course. A sound. Certainly. For honor. I stand. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Justice. For honor. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. I'm here to help. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan.
Betrayer of the light. Lord Lordaeron.
Is there danger? I'm here to help. My father, the king. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Foul. Of course.
Betrayer of the light.
I stand for the light. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. Certainly. The light is my strength. Is there danger? I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. For my father. A sound plan. Of course. The light is my strength. Certainly. Is there danger? Of course. A sound plan. Stand for the light. Is there danger? Certainly. For honor. Justice shall be done. Certainly. I stand for the light. Of course. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor. For Lord Aron. Of course. I'm here to help. Of course, justice shall be done. The light is strength. For honor. Certainly, a sound plan. I stand for the certainly. Of course. Is there danger? A sound plan. Certainly. I'm here to help. For Lord Aron, a sound plan. You are passed. I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Justice shall be done.
Inventory is full.
Of course. The light is my strength. I stand for the light. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. Is there danger? For honor.
Forces are under attack.
Foul. Is there danger? The light. Justice shall be done. Of course.
You are past redemption.
For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. For my father. A sound plan. Is there danger? Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. I'm here to help. Certainly. I stand for justice shall be done. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Of course. The light. For honor. Of course. For Lord of a sound plan. Is there danger? Sound plan. Certainly. Justice shall be done.